5 annoying things about owning a Lamborghini. I love this car, but there are definitely a few things about owning a Lamborghini that no one really tells you about. And after living with it for almost 6 to 7 months now, these are the 5 things that honestly kind of get to you, that can get a little bit annoying. What's going on, everyone? If this is your first time here, I show and tell you exactly what it's like owning a Lamborghini. So if you one day want to step into my shoes, subscribe to the channel. I put out content every single week. Now, don't get me wrong, this is still one of my best decisions that I've ever made in my entire life. But once you get past the hype, there's a real side to the ownership that only you understand after you have it. So number 1 is going to be attention is going to be everywhere. I will give you one example. The other day, I was just pulling my car out the garage. There was a vehicle that was actually blocking me, and then I had to approach the owner before opening my garage, letting them know that, hey, your car is blocking my driveway, so I might just need a little bit of space to get out. Initially, the owner that was blocking me had no idea as to what was behind that garage door, but he did kindly move his vehicle ahead by a few spots, leaving me enough room to get out the garage. As soon as I opened up the garage and turned on the car, the cold start just erupted, and the next thing I saw was the same person literally run straight into my garage, and I was like, what the heck is going on here? The cold start was still going on. I could not hear anything at all. This person was super excited. They're inside my garage at this point, and I just met them just literally 2 minutes ago. So then I had to pull out the car, and then the cold start eventually finally came down to a stop. It was at that point where I got out the car. I kindly wanted to show them the vehicle, so I put the roof down on the convertible. I also have them sit inside to check out the car, and they absolutely fell in love with it. So off the bat, this is kind of the attention that you get. As soon as you open up that garage door, your day is about to completely change. People's personalities and reactions, they go from 0 to 100 in a literal instant. After about 15 minutes of conversation, I was on my way. But that small story is just to give you the example of what exactly happens. But every gas station visit, every parking lot, every red light, people are always looking, filming, and asking questions. And then at first it's pretty cool, but yes, after a while, sometimes you do just want to run in, grab food, or finish up your errand, and then just be completely alone so that you can get on about your day and finish up goals or tasks that you may have on your to-do list that you just need to get done. Hence why I still drive my Honda Civic. That Honda Civic, the more that I own it in correlation with the Lamborghini, is becoming more and more valuable to me till this day, to be honest. I love that thing. I'll give you one other story too that was really hilarious. Also, before we get to the next one, I have been getting a ton of questions, ton of comments about what exactly I did to go from a Honda Civic to a Lamborghini within 5 years. I actually wrote it all down, designed this blueprint or course, whatever you want to call it, and linked it right down below. It has 5 different sections about everything from the mindset all the way through investing, through how I did my YouTube channel. There is also a QR code here too, if you wanted to give that a scan or screenshot it. I am going to be raising the prices on it and continue to update it throughout the course of my life. The link is right down below. Just the other day, my sister, who lives in an apartment complex, it was about noontime or about the afternoon, I had to go visit her to just help take care of a thing, and I purposely parked right in front of her apartment window just so I could shadow the vehicle, just to see if anything or if anybody were to approach the vehicle. And mind you, this vehicle, this Lambo, is parked in the shade right in front of the window in a secluded parking lot where it's off the main road, and it's even off the main road inside the apartment complex itself. There were literally 4 groups of people that approached the vehicle, that came by it, that took pictures with it. This is not even really a public spot or a public area, and this is the type of attention that the vehicle was getting. Again, I don't blame people for doing this at all, but this is something that every owner just kind of gets used to. And if you're somebody who expects to have a supercar one day, this is going to be the same thing that happens to you too. But at times, there are days where you just want to be left alone. So in that, parking does become a strategy. You not only have to park all the way in the back of a parking lot, but the additional step that many people may want to do or may consider doing is not only parking way in the back, but parking in a bit of a hidden spot. Somewhere that's off the main road, somewhere, say for example, that has a lot of space, but also behind a building. People will literally take a exit, pull into the parking lot that you're in, and they have no business being there in the sense of getting things done, but they will come there just to look at the car. Again, something that I would do as well. So no harm, no foul, but this is just the type of things that you may want to consider. But you're always thinking, is this spot going to be okay? Is somebody going to park next to you? A lot of times they definitely are. Are you going to get back a door ding? I will say, having full PPF on this car is a big peace of mind. The vehicle that I brought it pre-owned. It did come with full PPF, so I'm very grateful that it did. There's a lot of people who, whenever you go to car meets or car rallies and such, whenever there are a lot of random people, there's also going to be little kids. Sometimes the excitement gets to them, and then they might lean in a little bit too close to the vehicle. There was one meet that I went to where a cone of ice cream fell onto the car. So that's just to give you an example of what you may encounter. A cone of ice cream on your Lamborghini. It's terrific. But yes, you do park far, and you also try to hide. So that's two things to consider there. Convenience goes out the window, safety becomes everything. Number 3 is going to be roads. Roads can also be a big deal. I purposely avoid roads that are really bumpy. I purposely stick to main roads. I avoid back roads at all costs. They're usually the ones that are more bumpy, may not always be properly settled. A lot of times they may be under construction. Any road that is under construction, I definitely avoid. There's been times where I've purposely changed my route knowing that a road that I usually take is under construction, so I completely go around. I completely go the long way to get to a place that I'm trying to get to. I personally don't drive my vehicle in the city. I find it really nerve-wracking to try to parallel park the car. You could always park in a garage, don't get me wrong, but I'm somebody who does like to keep my eyes on the car, so I need to see the car to make sure that nobody's going to be laying on it or leaning on it. But in terms of roads, I do avoid things like speed bumps. I avoid steep driveways. That's also a huge one. Bad pavement. Even though my Lambo has a front lift system, you always still have to think about angles. You're literally calculating your route beforehand. You're thinking ahead. You're rerouting your own GPS because you want to take the main roads. Number 4 is going to be that people judge you instantly. This is something that comes with all supercars. It's definitely something to be expected, just like all the other things, but this one does hit a little bit deeper. Depending on how thick your skin is, this may get to you, this may not. I personally think that if you were somebody who was, you could say, ballsy enough to get into a Lamborghini, you are somebody who is already getting judged for the things that you do, for taking the unconventional path. That is one thing to mention, is that if you are somebody who gets to a point of getting to a supercar or a Lamborghini, whichever one, that in order for you to get there, you most likely, probably 70-80% of the time, went the unconventional route to get to that point. So you already are somebody who's going to have thick skin. But if you are somebody who probably, say, won the lottery overnight, congratulations. You doing a big jump from a Honda to a Lamborghini. You may have not have had that middle journey where you also had to thicken up your skin and take risks to get to that point, so this may hit you a little bit harder. But the judgment part, some people love the car, some people respect it, and some people immediately do not like you. And you feel all that type of energy is something that you do get used to. It's not always negative, but it is something that is always there. 40% of the time, people don't really care. They will look at the car, but they won't really interact. And then the other half of the remaining percent, you're going to get some haters that would just try to tailgate you for no reason. I have no idea why a lot of people do this. A good chunk of that crowd is going to be people who are going to try to race you, who try to keep up with you. And then your last little bit of people too, which could also be a big chunk, is going to be people who give you thumbs up, who actually respect the vehicle. So there's a whole lot of emotions that you basically are going to be dealing with. So you yourself are just going to be neutral. Whenever somebody is nice to you, who gives you a thumbs up, you give a smile and a thumbs up back, or say a thank you. If somebody is being a hater, who's on your butt, or somebody who says a smart remark, you basically just ignore it and then you continue on. Number 5, it is not a chill car at all. Any supercar, more likely than not, is going to be a loud, attention-getting supercar. This is not a chill car. You cannot expect to just drive the car and go on a cruise. You're going to have cars coming up to you, honking at you, trying to race you. You're going to have people who try to get beside you to give you a thumbs up. Usually whenever this happens to me, Unless I see somebody sticking their hands out the window, I'll give them a thumbs up back. But aside from that, I would just continue on, just driving like nothing is going on. But the energy of going on a relaxing cruise, that doesn't come with this car. But even then, it's a loud car, pops and crackles, you hear a lot of bangs. Any tunnel you go through, it sounds like a hurricane going through. It always feels like it just wants to go. It's really, really hard to drive this car in a normal fashion. The car just wants to go fast. So even whenever you are just driving normally, you're more locked in, you're more aware, you're more engaged. It's fun, but it's definitely not passive at all. Driving the car is one thing. The car itself is something you have to pay attention to. But the other side that nobody talks about is your surroundings. Your surroundings around the car are going to be completely different compared to any other car that you have ever driven before. The people, your surroundings, they completely shift around. Cars on the highway either speed up or slow down, so it's difficult to predict patterns on the road. But at the end of the day, none of these things would ever stop me from owning the car. I absolutely love it. I love the fact that I could do things like what I'm doing right now, where I'm making content for you guys and explaining my journey. But these things are real, and if you're working toward getting one someday, I strongly believe that if you're watching a video like this, that you yourself would also get to this point. These are things that you should actually know, because the dream is real, but again, so is the ownership. Thank you all for watching, and subscribe to the channel for content every single week.